Since September, we have conducted 3 back-to-back trials to tell the full story of what happened on August 24th, 2019, when Aurora officers violently restrained Elijah McClain on the ground and paramedics injected him with a deadly dose of ketamine. These trials occurred after a state grand jury, with a considerable amount of deliberation and testimony, found probable cause to charge the officers and paramedics with the death of Elijah McClain. And the court ruled there was sufficient evidence to go forward to support the charges and to hold a criminal trial. We knew that these cases were going to be difficult to prosecute. We are satisfied with today's verdict, and we remain confident that bringing these cases forward was the right thing to do for justice, for Elijah McClain, and for healing in the Aurora community. And Elijah McClain's memory will live on as a blessing. The work of this hard-working team put together a very strong case based on the evidence and the law against the paramedics. Indeed, the prosecution team in the 3 trials brought to light the evidence that occurred that dark night. The world, Elijah, and especially his mom, Janine McClain, deserved to have the full story told. That's what justice demanded. Elijah did nothing wrong. His life mattered. He should be with us here today. Accountability does not end with these trials. Too often when we've seen people die at the hands of law enforcement officers because of situations that got escalated unnecessarily and never should have used force. That's a call on us to continue this work, for Elijah's memory to continue as a blessing. This work is core to what we do in our department, improving policing, improving emergency response, and working hard to build trust between law enforcement, first responders, and the community they're sworn to protect. We all must do what we can to prevent these tragedies. Thank you.
Ms. McClain, any comment?
Yeah.
You go.
Okay.
You go.
This story is Janine McClain's story, and it's Elijah McClain's story. I can only represent an echo of her story and his story. But what I will say, when something happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. I watched as the prosecution delivered the truth about what happened to Elijah in 2019. The truth is now real, and it is available for the people. I heard every side of this say that Elijah should still be with us. Elijah still being here with his mother is justice. God made a promise to all of us when he made Elijah. This young man had a spirit that was sweeter than any of us can ever even try to be. Self-taught violinist, self-taught guitarist, and upon his murder, he was mastering the oboe. He was called to be a healer, so he went into massage therapy. And from what I understand, some of the Aurora police officers were actually some of his clients. He was called to be a healer. Randy Rodema, Jason Rosenblatt, Jeremy Cooper, Nathan Woodyard, Peter Chikuniak denied all of us the promise that God made to us when he made Elijah. They denied that promise to us. And the Attorney General said that the truth was told, this story was told, but there is a part of this story that we'll never know. We'll never know Elijah as the father. We'll never know Elijah as the husband. We don't get that story. So we are still seeking justice. The algorithm of justice are charges, arrest, conviction, and sentencing. Thankfully, in this case, the algorithm continues, but we do not know justice until we see sentencing. So Judge Warner, you now have a responsibility. We are still seeking justice. And as this truth was told to the people, you have a part of this story that now you have to finish. Will there be justice? Elijah is gone, but he is never forgotten. He has left a legacy for me, for you, for everyone. And for those that are not able to see that an injustice was done, my heart hurts for you, because an injustice was done. And if you are disrupted by the justice that has been now, that by the result of this trial, if you are disrupted by that, I will just say that I love you more than you hate yourself. Because a loss of life in this way should disrupt all of us. And as adamant as Shanine McClain is for justice for her son, you should share in that sentiment with her. You are invited to share in that sentiment with her. His name was and always will be Elijah McClain. We love you, Elijah McClain.
Ma'am, there were many supporters of the defendants outside the courtroom as you guys walked out. You held your fists up high. What did that mean?
That fist was not held for anyone except for Elijah. So that fist was representative that we love you, Elijah McClain. We see you, Elijah McClain. We will always and forever call the name Elijah McClain.
And just very quickly, on behalf of the Aurora branch of the NAACP, we want to thank the Attorney General's office and Phil Weiser for taking these cases on, giving Elijah McClain a chance to have a voice in his time in court so that the story could come out. And so on behalf of the Aurora branch of the NAACP, we thank the Attorney General's office. And as we have always done, we stand with Shanine McClain to continue not just to have justice in the courtroom, but to reform public safety in the city of Aurora and nationwide. Thank you.
Is this justice for you?
You know, as it was stated earlier, justice is Elijah McClain being alive. That's justice. Right now, we're part of a process of accountability for what should have been justice. So right now, we're still going through this process. It's the courtroom process and also continuing the reform that needs to take place so that there's never another incident, another murder like we've seen and witnessed with Elijah McClain.
What is a just sentence in your mind?
Excuse me?
What is a just sentence in your mind?
I don't want to get into sentencing or things of this nature. March 1st is the sentencing date, and we'll find out what happens then.
Man, you said the judge had a job to do. What would satisfy you?
When I walk into that courtroom, I don't walk into the courtroom with hope. I will not let the criminal legal system continue to strip me of my hope. I hold expectancy. The responsibility that the judge has is to look at the law and ensure that the sentencing matches the punishment. The deliberation that he needs to go through, I wish him through it with diligence, with humanity, with honor. And this is now his legacy that he will be able to inscribe in history. So my expectancy is that we have a judge that represents humanity and that represents the laws that are supposed to be designed to protect all of us. That is my expectancy.
You have a, I want to put words in your mouth, an expectation of possibly being disappointed? Or you have, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I'm a woman of faith, so I'll always hold faith, but I don't put my faith in the people. So with that being said, again, I will sit with expectancy that this is done the right way. I don't want to be disappointed. Shani McClain. Oh, she's ready to go. Thank you all. Thank you all for the platform, for the opportunity. Never forget his name, Elijah McClain.